Welcome to our documentary, a solemn journey through 10 of the most significant air disasters in history. Each event, a tragedy in its own right, sent shockwaves across the world, forever etching themselves into the annals of aviation history. These tragic events not only profoundly affected the lives of those directly involved but also served as catalysts for critical advancements in aviation safety. Each disaster tells a story of loss and resilience, and how lessons learned from these events have shaped the safer skies we navigate today. Number 10 is Tenerife Airport Incident. The Canary Islands, a Spanish archipelago located off the northwest coast of Africa, became the site of one of aviation's most tragic events on March 27, 1977. At Los Rodeos Airport, now known as Tenerife North Airport, dense fog blanketed the runway. This unexpected weather condition forced two Boeing 747 jumbo jets, KLM Flight 4805 and PanAm Flight 1736, to divert to Tenerife from their original destination. Las Palmas Airport, known as Gran Canaria Airport, is located in Spain. The situation escalated due to a bomb threat at Las Palmas, leading to a chaotic environment at Tenerife North Airport with increased air traffic and stressed ground crews. Miscommunication between the air traffic controllers and the flight crews exacerbated the already tense situation. As visibility remained poor, both aircraft were unable to depart and were parked on the taxiway. The tragic sequence of events began when the KLM captain, feeling pressure to depart due to fuel concerns and unaware of the exact location of the PanAm aircraft on the fog-covered runway, initiated a takeoff without proper clearance from air traffic control. Simultaneously, the PanAm aircraft was instructed to exit the runway but missed the correct taxiway, prolonging its presence on the runway. The result was a catastrophic collision on the runway between the KLM 747, attempting takeoff, and the PanAm 747, still taxiing. The collision and subsequent fire claimed the lives of 583 people, making it the deadliest aviation accident in history. This tragic incident underscored critical lessons for aviation safety. It highlighted the vital importance of clear and effective communication between air traffic control and flight crews, especially in adverse weather conditions. It also emphasized the necessity of stringent safety protocols and procedures to prevent such disasters in the future, prompting significant improvements in aviation safety standards worldwide. Number 9 is Japan Airlines Flight 123 incident. In the summer of 1985, Japan suffered a terrible tragedy. On August 12, Japan Airlines Flight 123 took off from Tokyo's Haneda Airport, bound for Osaka International Airport, with 524 passengers on board. No one knew what was about to happen. Just 12 minutes into the flight, there was a loud bang. The plane suddenly lost cabin pressure because a critical part called the rear pressure bulkhead failed. Despite the brave efforts of the pilots, who fought hard to control the plane as recorded on the flight data recorder, the aircraft crashed into Mount Takamagahara. Only 4 passengers survived. The crash site was a devastating scene, reminding everyone of how fragile life can be and how dangerous air travel can sometimes be. The investigation that followed was very thorough, trying to find out exactly what caused this terrible accident. Aviation experts quickly took action. The lessons learned from the Japan Airlines Flight 123 disaster led to major improvements in how airplanes are maintained all around the world. They made sure that inspections were done more carefully and that safety rules were followed closely. This tragic event left a lasting impact, making sure that safety is always the top priority in the airline industry worldwide. Number 8 is Chari Dodre Midair collision. The mid-air collision over Chari Dodre, India, on November 12, 1996, involved Saudi Arabian Airlines Flight 763 and Kazakhstan Airlines Flight 1907. Both aircraft were en route and operated by experienced crews, but a tragic series of events unfolded due to errors and misunderstandings. The Traffic Collision Avoidance System, TCAS, equipped on both aircraft alerted the pilots to the impending danger. TCAS is designed to detect and warn pilots of the presence of nearby aircraft to prevent collisions. In this case, both the Boeing 747, Saudi Arabian Airlines Flight 763, and the Ilyushin Il-76, Kazakhstan Airlines Flight 1907, received TCAS alerts instructing them to take evasive action. However, due to a combination of factors including miscommunication and confusion in following the TCAS instructions, the two aircraft came into close proximity. The Ilyushin Il-76, climbing in accordance with its TCAS resolution advisory, struck the underside of the Boeing 747. The impact caused both aircraft to lose control and subsequently crash near Chari, Dodre, a town in Haryana, India. The collision resulted in the tragic loss of all 349 people on board both aircraft, making it one of the deadliest aviation disasters in history. This incident underscored the critical importance of precise air traffic control procedures, effective communication between pilots and air traffic controllers, and the proper use of collision avoidance technology like TCAS. In the aftermath of the Chari Dodre disaster, aviation authorities and organizations worldwide intensified efforts to enhance aviation safety protocols, improve TCAS technology, and refine training procedures for pilots and air traffic controllers to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Number 7 is Air India Flight 182 incident. The skies above the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Ireland bore witness to a horrific act of terrorism on June 23, 1985. Air India Flight 182, a Boeing 747 en route from Montreal to London, with its final destinations being Delhi and Amritsar, was carrying 329 souls on board. Among them were families returning home to India, students excited for their summer break, and professionals on business trips. At an altitude of 31,000 feet, a bomb planted in the forward cargo hold detonated, ripping the aircraft apart. The explosion instantly killed everyone on board. The investigation that followed pointed towards a bomb planted by Sikh extremists, exposing the dark underbelly of terrorism and its devastating impact on innocent lives. The tragedy sent shockwaves across the world, highlighting the vulnerability of civil aviation to acts of terror. In response, new security measures, including enhanced passenger and baggage screening, were implemented at airports globally. The victims of this tragedy included men, women, and children from diverse backgrounds and walks of life. Entire families were lost, and communities in both Canada and India were left grieving. The repercussions of this act of terrorism extended far beyond the immediate loss of life, affecting countless lives across the globe. In the aftermath, the global aviation industry faced intense scrutiny. Governments and airlines collaborated to develop and enforce stricter security protocols. These measures aim to prevent such a tragedy from occurring again, ensuring the safety and security of passengers worldwide. The legacy of Air India Flight 182 serves as a somber reminder of the importance of vigilance and the ongoing fight against terrorism. Number 6 is the Turkish Flight 981 incident. Turkish Airlines Flight 981, a McDonnell Douglas DC-10, crashed on March 3, 1974, in the Ermenonville forest near Paris, France, killing all 346 people on board. It was one of the deadliest plane crashes ever. The crash happened because the rear cargo door failed, causing a sudden loss of air pressure in the cabin, which made the plane uncontrollable. The investigation found that the cargo door had design flaws. It was supposed to lock securely, but it could appear locked even when it wasn't. This problem, combined with human error during loading, led to the door being improperly secured before the flight. When the door blew off during the flight, the sudden decompression caused the cabin floor to collapse, cutting control cables to the plane's tail. This made it impossible for the pilots to control the plane, leading to the crash. After this disaster, major changes were made to improve airplane safety. The cargo door designs were fixed, better maintenance and inspection procedures were implemented, and crew training was improved to ensure doors were properly secured. These changes have helped prevent similar accidents in the future. Number 5 is American Airlines Flight 191. On May 25, 1979, Chicago O'Hare International Airport, one of the busiest airports in the world, became the scene of a devastating aviation accident involving American Airlines Flight 191. The aircraft, a McDonnell Douglas DC-10, was scheduled to depart for Los Angeles International Airport. On board were 258 passengers and 13 crew members, totaling 271 souls. Shortly after takeoff from runway 32R, at an altitude of about 300 feet, the left engine separated from the wing, causing critical damage to the left wing's leading edge and the hydraulic lines. The aircraft lost all hydraulic pressure in the number 1 system, impairing its ability to control its pitch and roll. As a result, the plane entered a steep roll to the left, eventually flipping completely inverted before crashing into a field near the intersection of Tui Avenue and Mount Prospect Road, approximately half a mile from the end of the runway. The impact caused a massive explosion, and the subsequent fire consumed the wreckage, making rescue efforts nearly impossible. All 271 passengers and crew members perished in the crash. Additionally, 2 workers at a nearby trailer park were also killed by the debris and explosion, bringing the total fatality count to 273. The investigation by the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, revealed that improper maintenance procedures contributed to the engine separation. The pylon mounting the engine to the wing had suffered damage due to a faulty procedure during an engine change, which eventually led to the catastrophic failure during flight. The tragedy of American Airlines Flight 191 remains one of the deadliest aviation accidents in U.S. history, and led to significant changes in maintenance procedures and aviation safety regulations to prevent similar accidents in the future. Number 4 is PanAm Flight 103. Incident on December 21, 1988, Lockerbie, Scotland, became synonymous with an act of terrorism that shocked the world. PanAm Flight 103, a Boeing 747, was en route from London to New York. On board were 259 souls, including 35 Syracuse University students returning home for the holidays. At 31,000 feet, a bomb concealed within a suitcase in the cargo hold detonated, ripping the aircraft apart. The explosion claimed the lives of all on board and 11 residents of Lockerbie on the ground as debris rained down on the town. The aftermath of the bombing sent shockwaves around the globe. Extensive investigations by British and American authorities followed, ultimately leading to the indictment and conviction of Libyan intelligence agents Abdelbaset al-Megrahi and Lamin Khalifa Fhimah. The incident prompted significant changes in aviation security protocols and international policies on counter-terrorism. The bombing remains one of the deadliest terrorist attacks in aviation history, marking a somber chapter in the ongoing fight against global terrorism and underscoring the need for vigilance and international cooperation in ensuring the safety of air travel. Number 3 is Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 on March 8, 2014, remains one of the most perplexing mysteries in aviation history. The Boeing 777-200ER, carrying 239 people, vanished from radar screens while en route from Kuala Lumpur International Airport to Beijing Capital International Airport. The flight, carrying passengers from 14 different nations, was last recorded over the South China Sea before disappearing without a trace. Despite an extensive multinational search effort, the main wreckage of MH370 has never been found, leaving the aviation world grappling with unanswered questions and fueling countless theories about the plane's fate. The lack of a definitive explanation for the disappearance has led to much speculation, ranging from mechanical failure and pilot error to more sinister scenarios like hijacking or deliberate pilot action. Some investigators suggest that the plane's change of course, turning westward away from its planned flight path, indicates possible intentional actions by someone in the cockpit. Others argue for the potential of a catastrophic mechanical failure that incapacitated the crew and passengers. The disappearance of MH370 exposed significant limitations in aircraft tracking technology. At the time, air traffic control relied heavily on radar coverage, which is limited over oceans and remote areas. This incident has prompted calls for improvements in real-time tracking of aircraft, leading to initiatives such as the introduction of new satellite-based tracking systems and the mandatory reporting of an aircraft's position at regular intervals. The disappearance of MH370 serves as a stark reminder of the vastness and unforgiving nature of the open ocean, as well as the importance of continuous improvement in aircraft tracking and communication technology. The tragedy has had a profound impact on the aviation industry, highlighting the need for enhanced safety measures and international cooperation in search and rescue operations. Number 2 is Malaysia Airlines Flight 17. Just 4 months after the disappearance of MH370, Malaysia Airlines faced another tragedy. On July 17, 2014, Flight MH17 was shot down over eastern Ukraine while flying from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur. All 298 passengers and crew members on board died when a Buk surface-to-air missile struck the plane, causing it to crash. The incident highlighted the dangers of flying over conflict zones. The Dutch Safety Board investigated and concluded that the missile was fired from an area controlled by pro-Russian separatists. This finding increased international tensions and led to widespread condemnation of those responsible. The tragedy of MH17 showed the urgent need to protect civilian airspace, especially over areas with ongoing conflicts. It also prompted changes in aviation policies, with airlines becoming more cautious about flying over dangerous regions. The incident underscored the vulnerability of civilian aircraft in conflict zones and the importance of international cooperation to ensure the safety of air travel. Number 1 is Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302. On March 10, 2019, Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302, a Boeing 737 MAX 8, crashed shortly after taking off from Addis Ababa Bole International Airport, killing all 157 people on board. This accident was similar to the crash of Lion Air Flight 610, another Boeing 737 MAX 8, which occurred just 5 months earlier on October 29, 2018. In both crashes, the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, MCAS, malfunctioned. MCAS is designed to improve the aircraft's handling and prevent stalls, but it mistakenly activated due to faulty sensor data, repeatedly pushing the plane's nose down. Despite the pilot's attempts to regain control, the planes went into uncontrollable dives, leading to the crashes. These incidents highlighted serious problems in the aircraft's design and approval process, as well as the need for better pilot training to handle MCAS issues. As a result, aviation authorities around the world grounded the Boeing 737 MAX model and called for major changes in aircraft certification, emphasizing the importance of thorough and independent safety checks. The legacy of these flights is a reminder of the aviation industry's responsibility to maintain strict safety standards, continuously improve technology, and ensure comprehensive training to prevent future tragedies. These 10 air disasters, while tragic, have significantly impacted the aviation industry, leading to improved safety standards, better technology, and more stringent regulations. Each incident, a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance, communication, and continuous improvement in aviation safety, has led to advancements that make the skies safer for millions of passengers who take flight every day. Thank you for joining us on this journey through some of the most significant moments in aviation history.